What's good, everyone? This your main correspondent, Alan Taylor, and I'm back in the broadcast room yet again, always with another one. And yes, indeed, it is another one. So this is where we at, guys. Yeah, so apparently the judge is going to go ahead on and go through with it. He's going to sentence Trump January 10th, about a week or so before the inauguration. So yeah, we're just going to see what these people have to say. I got NBC, and I got Fox. So yeah, we're going to dive off into it, people. Quarters, nickels, and dimes.
We have breaking news, everyone, as Judge Juan Merchan just ordered Donald Trump to appear for sentencing on January 10th. He can do it either in person or virtually. Joining us right now is MSNBC legal correspondent Lisa Rubin on the phone. Lisa, tell us what has just happened. I wonder if we just lost you. Hang on a second. Garrett, we have you. I understand you've just read in on this.
Yep.
January 10, that is 1 week from today. It is 10 days prior to inauguration. But give me a sense of what Judge Juan Merchan here in New York has suggested will happen on January 10.
Well, just reviewing this 18-page filing from Judge Merchan here, who was basically asked to answer the question of whether Donald Trump's winning the presidential election sort of provides him any additional immunity from prosecution or from sentencing in a case in which he was already convicted by a jury. Remember also over the summer, there was the question of the expanded idea of presidential immunity after the Supreme Court had ruled with a much more expansive view of what activities of a president would create some form of immunity. Judge Merchan goes through the facts of the case, his view of the arguments of both of these questions, and concludes that Donald Trump, as he exists right now, still a private citizen, is not immune from being sentenced, in this case in New York City, for which he was already convicted. And as you just reported, Alex, orders him to appear either in person or virtually next Friday morning at 9:30 to be sentenced. He has to answer whether that appearance will be in person or virtually by the 5th. That's this Sunday. I'm out to the Trump transition team to see if they have any response to this. As you all and all of our viewers know, Trump has excoriated the prosecutor in Manhattan, the judge in this case. He believes this is a witch hunt. It has been, he believes, an unfair prosecution, something that he thinks needs to be cleared off his plate to best do his job as president. Clearly, Judge Merchan disagrees. But what form of sentencing, what might be appropriate here? I think our questions better suited for legal analysts, and there will be lots of time to discuss them over the next week, which will also involve Trump coming here to Washington to attend the state funeral for Jimmy Carter. So a very busy and complex week ahead for the president-elect.
Absolutely. We'll be asking questions of our legal analysts, very much so, to see what will happen. Again, we have the funeral, the official state funeral of President Jimmy Carter on the 9th. So the president will be in Washington. Former president and now president-elect Donald Trump will be there on Thursday the 9th. This will all go down on the 10th. We're all going to stay very closely attuned to see what happens there from Judge Juan Merchan. Garrett,
Yeah, we all know it's a crazy situation. This whole situation that they tried to get him with was just a whole big ass hot mess of crap. Just a whole big ass mess of crap. It is what it is, though. Yeah, they still tried. They botched it. Tried to get him on in there. Yeah, they did what they did. But let's see what Fox had to say.
All right, breaking right now, the judge rejecting President-elect Trump's bid to throw out his criminal conviction in New York because of his election win and ordering to show up for a sentencing a week from today, either in person or virtually. That's all according to Reuters. Prosecutors had suggested putting the case on hold until Trump leaves office, but now he's facing sentencing before Inauguration Day. Constitutional attorney and Fox News contributor Jonathan Turley is going to be standing by on the phone for us in just a moment. But we have Clay Travis, I believe, with us still here. Clay, your reaction. This is just an incredible hour to go from, a win for the president-elect with the speakership and now sentencing before inauguration.
Yeah, this is crazy. I will say the fact that you just hit it, I've got the order in front of me right now, to allow him to appear virtually suggests to me that there is not going to be a substantial punishment coming from Judge Merchan. Now, I could be wrong, but if you're virtually sentencing someone, you're not taking them into custody or trying to do something in a significant way there. So that's my biggest takeaway reading the order.
All right, Clay Travis, thank you very much. We want to bring in constitutional attorney and Fox News contributor Jonathan Turley now by phone. Jonathan, break this down for us. What does this mean? What are we likely to see play out?
Well, that's a very good question. This is a judge that has kept people really guessing for a very long time. I described this once as the longest performance of Hamlet in history. We really could not figure out what the Merchan was going to do. He's now decided to sentence a president shortly before he is sworn in. Now, one of the things that I've said in the past is that many of the complications that we've been talking about and potential conflicts with the constitutional standards only arise if you impose a sentence that would hold him physically or demand his appearance, things like home confinement or actual sentence to jail. This would be a case where you would not even normally see a sentence for incarceration. So I've always doubted that that would be coming out of this case. So the court may be looking at this and saying, I'm not going to trigger any constitutional problems because I'm going to hand down a sentence that's not going to bind him in any way or interfere with his carrying out his duties. The one thing that I have to say, if you put a positive spin on this, is the worst option is the one suggested by Bragg, that you should just suspend the sentence and keep the president as pending sentencing for 4 years. That was a perfectly horrific idea that is being pushed by many. And I think that
Jonathan,
many people on the
we've got less than 30 seconds left in the show, but I want to ask you, what do you expect the Trump team to do in response to this? Can they appeal it? What happens next?
I don't think they're going to have a lot of luck appealing this. I think the appellate court's going to want to see what he rules. Because if he comes down with a sentence that doesn't bind the president, then a lot of the constitutional problems fade away.
So you expect that we will see the sentencing go through. We will see a sentence.
Yeah, they may well appeal this, but the odds are always in favor of trial judges and these holding these hearings. The appellate courts like to see sentences finalized that they can review the case and the sentence.
Jonathan Turley, thank you so much.
Okay, so yeah, obviously it's going down. They are going to sentence Trump and things like that and let that go head on and go through. Hopefully he'll be able to appeal after the sentence goes through, and then they'll clear this up on the back end. But I know boo-boo the fool. I know good and doggone well they was not finna allow a sitting president to be confined to any type of house arrest or jail. They was just not finna do that. America's not that stupid. Now, we got our issues. We got problems. Don't get me wrong. We got plenty of problems over here, but they was not finna do that. Them people ain't that crazy. So, yeah, it is what it is. Shout out to all my subscribers. Mad love to y'all. If you're new to the channel, please hit that like, share, subscribe button. Make sure you ring that bell to be notified whenever I decide to post things. And like I always say,
and that, my friends, is the bottom line.
That, my friends, is the bottom line.